Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Are we here? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to be here today. Yeah. Let's come online. It's going to be massive. It's going to be very, very mad session today. I mean, if you missed this video for any reason, you've missed a whole lot, in your journey towards, being a very brute and, very efficient investor. Investment could mean anything. It could be anything. But I believe for those of us who read, the preceding post before this session, we underline that the most important, end goal for anything called investment is profit. Is profit. So if anything you call investment doesn't yield profit at the end of the day, probably you're not getting it right, or you're not investing. You're not investing, appropriately. So the underlying fact or the underlying end goal of anything called investment is profit. You understand? So if you're not getting profit, you might necessarily, go check back, the procedures or the processes you've employed to see if you actually are investing or not. So today we are looking at 4 killer, blind spots that actually, make people to make the wrong choices in investment, or that you should avoid, you should look out for and avoid in your next investment journey. Investment, like I said, could mean anything, but I'll have to wait a bit so that we can join up. It's going to be a very, short but concise and impact, as in compact, class this evening, because what you're going to learn here today, you're going to take it to the bank and you're going to thank me and thank the organizers of this particular program later. You understand? Because that is the main essence why Win Realty and its sister companies was established. First of all is to educate. Secondly is to help. You take the actual step in making the investment. Then thirdly is to watch you grow your finances, watch you grow your wealth to a reasonable extent. So my name is Max, and I'll be facilitating us this evening. It's going to be a short class, like I said, and it's going to be concise and compact. So let's get straight into the class today. What is an investment in the first place? Everybody keep hearing investment left, right, center. There's a whole lot of investment, talks all around, all around us lately. 2021 for me is actually a year of so many investment packages, products everywhere. And I believe that most of us watching this video must have encountered, either through experience or through hearsay, the effect of these investment vehicles per se. I choose to use my words carefully because I don't know who might be watching. So I believe that most of us have vast and varying experiences all through the year, and most of the time these experiences are not really as pleasurable and as recommendable as we've wished for, probably because we didn't know how to go about it, probably because of these blind spots I'm about to highlight in this video. So probably we didn't really know these things, so that was what led to our making the decisions we make earlier in the year, and as it may be, the result which came from them. So this evening you're going to learn things that are going to shape your mind and going to change your perspective and ideology surrounding investing and investing right. Lately everybody seems to be an investor in one thing or the other. It's either you're investing your energy, or you're investing your money, or you're investing your time. These things are things you need to watch out for. You need to calculate. You need to be strike a balance on, so you can be very much more efficient. Because at the end of the day, if you don't strike a balance, if you don't make it right, probably you're going to definitely hit it wrong at the end of the day, and probably lose your hard-earned money and your energy and your time, which is not pleasurable, which is not something we all are looking out for at the end of the day. So today we are going to start from the barest, which is, what is an investment? When you hear somebody saying investment, what comes to mind? You understand? Are we actually, running with the right idea or the right definition of investment? Or are we just, forming things in our heads? And at the end of the day, we are not actually getting it right. These are the questions, one ought to ask themselves prior them, venturing into any investment product or vehicle. You understand? So the question is, what is an investment? And it's simple. An investment is anything you put your time, energy, and money into to give you profit at the end of the day, or the period of the investment, or the period of the time that you're going to put your energy and time and money into it. That is an investment. You understand? So if you don't understand this definition, you might as well not really know how to go about it at the end of. So it's good you know things, the definition of the barest definition of things before you actually venture into. Because if you don't know those things, you are definitely going to miss your way. So like I said, an investment is something you put your money, your time, and energy into to make profit at the end of the day. Yes, that's an investment. So it comes in varying forms, varying shapes, and I have not gone to MBA, but I from my little experience in business and probably in investment as a whole, I understand a bit about how investment ought to be done and what truly are the blind spots that most people overlook or don't even notice before they enter into the investment, and it hurts at the end of the day. So we, knowing the true definition of investment, we are going to go straight into defining who an investor is. Because if you define a product without defining the user, you might as well not know who to how to actually consume the product, because you need to know whether you are in the right place of mind at the time to be a proper consumer of a product. You understand? Right now, the investment is the product, and investor is the consumer. Yeah. So you need to understand if you personally is an investor at heart first before you can be able to consume investment efficiently. You might not really understand, but as we go deep into this class, you understand a bit better, and it will be more clearer to you. So an investor is somebody who actually brings his energy, time, and money into something he or she feels is going to make him or her profit at the end of the tenure or the investment period or the cycle, depending on anything that could be. You understand? So that's who an investor is. So you begin to align yourself to ask yourself, are you in a position to invest your time, invest your money, invest your energy into anything? In fact, do you even have time, energy, and money to invest into something? That should be the question you ask yourself. Do I even have the money, the time, and energy I feel I could employ or deploy to something, and at the end of 6 months, at the end of 12 years, at the end of 3 years, as the case may be, is going to yield me some reasonable amount of profit that will accrue to be my investment returns. So if you don't know these things, you might as well not understand your position per time. So it's good you carry out a reality check all the time, so you don't miss it. So you don't miss you don't miss your steps. So you don't move out of your jurisdiction per time, because if you don't understand your state and your stage per time, you might not really know how to go further. So you ask yourself that question: am I in a position to be called an investor as it stands? Do I have the money? Hello, you're welcome back again. Sorry for that interruption once again. Network is really messing us up. So we are going straight into the points, into the blind spot this evening. It's going to be, so this time around you have to get your jotter, your notepad, your iPad, or anything you use to take down notes. You have to get it ready now, because we are entering into the juice of the matter. This is where the whole knowledge you need to get to fly as an investor or a budding investor, or to maximize your investment if you're already an investor. This is where the consciousness lies. This is where you need to get everything you need, to smash your investment goals. Coming and for the remaining days of the year, entering 2022, of course, all these things we're doing is to actually equip us for the new year, because we have made so many gains and losses, and we have learned a lot, and we have also learned a lot through ignorance. So we believe that 2022 should be different. It should be a year we are more aware, we are more knowledgeable, and we're more ready to actually do things the right way. So we don't lose a lot, and we don't fall for cheap talks. So let's go straight into the first blind spot that most people, most investors encounter, though they don't know, but it's actually there. But they feel anything you're not conscious about, you might not know its severity. You can't really know if the amount of the effect it has, the negative effect it has in your decision making. You understand? So you have to first of all be aware, so you can begin to quantify the amount of damage something is actually doing on you. You understand? Most of us are walking around without the proper knowledge, ignorantly, and at the end of the day we cut ourselves slacks. These are avoidable mistakes, avoidable decisions we ought not have made, but because we are not aware and we are not conscious also, we see ourselves making those errors and those mistakes. So the first blind spots are you ready? Type I'm ready. So the first blind spot you should look out for when you are trying to venture into an investment product, be it stock, be it bonds, be it money market, be it forex, be it real estate, be it any form of investment you are setting your money, your hard-earned money, energy and time into. The first thing you have to look out for is what we call endowment. I will explain. Endowment, being able to operate physically, you shut your spiritual mind off. I call it spiritual mind. I'm getting a little bit religious here, but the same way that the Bible says that you shouldn't walk at the expense of your spiritual mind. Same thing comes to investment. So we seem to look at the outside view, the outside look, the outlook of something, the shiny part of something, that we don't actually dig a bit deeper. So the endowment means how beautiful a product or an investment looks. Something, most of the time it's not actually an investment. It could be something that is a liability. And mind you, before I go for, I need to also let you understand that investments are only directly proportional or directly linked to assets. So you don't probably call a liability an investment to a large extent. And also, a liability can be an asset. So these things are things you need to understand. Let's say, for example, we all know that a car is a liability because it actually takes a whole lot of money off you within a period of the time. And a car can also be an asset. How do I mean? Now, let's say, for example, you are a young man or young lady or anybody who have made, let's say, 3 or 4 million, and that 4 million you could actually invest it into something, into a stock or bond or forex or money market, and it will yield you something at the end of the month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 years, 10 years, as the case may be. Now that 4 million has become an investment. You understand? Then you can also use that money and buy car. Now that money has become a liability. You understand? So that 4 million in any way could be an asset or a liability to you. Now let's say, for example, you're buying a car to just flex, to just ride around time, you understand, without any essence to use it to bring more money into your bank account. Now that car has become a proper liability to you. Now it's different from when you're buying a car, to pursue businesses, to use it to go, appear somewhat, so you can be able to strike up some kind of deals. Now that car is an asset. So a liability can be a liability and also an asset. So what we are looking at here is, that an investment must be tied to an asset. Now, you understand? So I believe I've been able to, expatiate a bit about how a liability and asset functions. So you have to define your asset and make sure that at the end of the day, the asset is bringing more money to you. You understand? So you have to define your asset. So let's go ahead. The first blind spot is called endowment. It's called endowment. Being able to just focus on the outlook of a product or an investment opportunity that you refuse to look deeper, you refuse to ask the proper question, you refuse to do your research, it looks too good, and you feel, oh, this is the right investment to make. That's a very bad approach to making an investment. You understand? Like, let's take for example, you see a very fine car or a very fine house, and you say, oh, I need this house, this is a very nice, just because it looks beautiful. You understand? So you have not really asked yourself some questions. This house or this car I'm buying, of what asset value or importance is going to add to my portfolio in the next 6 months? How much is it going to make me in the next 1 year? How much is it going to make me in the next 6 years? How much is it going to make me in the next 12 years? In fact, if I buy this car at a rate of 10 million, 15 million, when am I going to break even? I mean, when is the car going to bring another 15 million to me? Now I know that I've broken even, know that this car at the end of the day has brought its own money back to me. Now I can start looking for gains or for profit, which now makes it a proper, investment. So you have to begin to, be conscious of the blind spot called endowment. So most of the time it comes in different forms and different shapes and different ways. You understand? Endowment comes in different ways, in different forms. It comes in any form, in any kind of investment. So what is much more important for you now is to always ask yourself question before you venture into any investment, is to ask yourself, is there any endowment blind spot around this investment? You understand? What are the possible endowment, blind spot that is littered, that used to spice up this investment that I'm not really seeing? You understand? So you don't look at the outer look so much that you refuse to understand the processes, the track record of such an investment vehicle or product, and at the end of the day you might make a very huge mistake. So mind you, the first blind spot is called endowment. Now let's take for example real estate, which we measure in here in Real Realty. So there are so many products flying around the country, around the industry, so many beautiful real estate projects. You understand? So you see them, they are all over around us. You understand? So you see there are some well organized real estates around the country that sell at a very wonderful prices, and they are well built and they are appealing. You understand? So people just rush the appeal, they just rush the outer look without asking the necessary questions. They refuse to ask how far, did this property come to be? Understand? From the grassroots, from the owner to the registration processes to the acquisition processes to everything, you have to ask those pertinent questions, those interesting questions that will make sure that you make an informed decision at the end of the day. You don't just rush. So that is what is meant by what we call endowment in investment. So you don't rush just to go and make the kill. You just want to go and take the kill without asking the necessary question if the kill is a healthy kill or is a time bomb waiting to happen. So beware of endowment. I believe I've painted a bit of pictures. So we're going rushing. We have barely 30 more minutes to go. So the next blind spots that have really affected people enormously is what we call loss aversion. Or it could be loss aversion or loss aversion. It is simple. Forget the whole big grammar or Igbo that is attached to it. Loss aversion is actually for what I call being haunted by past loss experience, probably in a bad investment you've done in the past. So loss aversion is you refusing to go ahead and invest ever in life again because you have encountered a very bad experience in the past. You understand? It's a very big blind spot, and most of the time we are not even aware that is what is keeping us back from making the right decisions and investments. Of course, you understand. Let's take for example again the real estate we are doing. So you see some people who have been hurt in the past. Probably they bought a product or they bought a property from a not so I'm trying to choose a word here. Not so let's say interesting real estate company or a real estate company that is not really well structured, that just came to do what we call the more you look the less you see, and they wipe off the market. So they might have encountered such people in the past and their money was stolen or they lost their money. So because of that, they vowed that they're not going to consider anything concerning real estate investment ever. And I wonder, because at the end of the day, you're going to lose your monies to things that are not really as stable as real estate. Now, you see, that blind spot is shutting you off the enormous potential that is still imminent in investment. So, due to a past bad experience, most people choose not to go ahead and do any other thing in that same field. So I see some people. I went to actually explain to some people about, I booked a session. I want to explain to them about the enormous potential that is abound in our investment package, that's our co-fund package. Where you actually bring your money and partner with us to develop a project across Nigeria, and at the end of 3 or 6 months, we shared dividends with you. So I wanted to explain this to them, and immediately I heard you go to invest. I've not even landed with invest. They say, don't go there, please. Don't even say that, because they have been scammed over the months, or such word have started to ring a negative bell in their mind, because people that have actually brought such things to them in the time past have run away with their money. So they tend not to entertain anything that has to do with the word investment. So that is what we call loss aversion. You have allowed your mind to be controlled by a past experience. Even the Bible is against it. You have to heal and move on. You understand? So it's a blind spot. Most people don't even know that it exists. You understand? Like I said, if you don't know it exists, you might never know how to tackle it. You might not even know how to go ahead and turn it to your benefit. So now I'm telling you, loss aversion is a very big blind spot, and it's devilish, because it's going to block your mind and close your mind from anything called investment going forward. And the greatest investors know how to move on from loss. So if you're not somebody who knows how to handle loss and move on, you might not really make it big in life. I must tell you that you can take that to the bank, and it wouldn't come back complaining, because the biggest investors in the world have lost a whole lot doing investment, and that helps them to make better decisions, because when they see such investment again that looks more like what they have lost their money in the time past, they know how to avoid it. You understand? So you shouldn't allow loss experience in the past to deter you from going ahead to make informed investment decision. Now, this is where you have to become more careful. Ask the right questions, of course. Look at track record. Don't just look at 3 months back or 6 months back or 1 year back. Look at things like 5 years, 10 years of consistent track record. That way you can be able to justify, okay, say these people are trustworthy, these people mean what they're saying, and you have it. So I believe we have been able to shed a bit of light into 2 blind spots that have actually held most people back from going ahead to invest their money in profitable investment products that littered around us, just because of maybe past experience, or being able to look at the outer, outlook of the product, that they refuse to look at the essence or the true definition of what they're about to put their money, time, and energy in. So we're heading straight to the 3rd point tonight, and that is what I call recency. Recency, that's something that is too recent. More like most people call it, too good to be true. You understand? Too good to be true. You understand? But one thing I actually even tell people is that if you're somebody who always is looking out for something that will give you, returns in the next 1 year, so in the next 1 week, if you have that kind of mindset as a person already, I don't count you as an investor, and I don't count you as somebody who is going to go too far in the making money business. Because if you look at people that we claim to want to be like, you look at the Jeff Bezos, you look at the Warren Buffett, which is what we call the greatest investor alive, or the greatest investor to have lived. You look at the way they tackle investment. You see that these people are men who don't believe in recent. What I mean, they don't believe in something that is too good to be true. They don't even believe in something that they invest their $1 million now and it will give them $1.5 million in the next 2 months. They don't go for it, because they understand that there are processes and times. The things needs to grow. You understand? If you actually invest in it's more like sowing a seed to the soil. You have to water it. You have to expose it to the right, sun energy. You have to make sure there are so many factors, or you have to weed away, the weed that coming to attack. You have to do so many things to make sure that particular seed, blossoms into a full-blown tree that will bear fruit. So if you don't have this at the back of your mind, probably you need to go back to what I was saying when this video started, that you need to go and start asking your questions if you have the right mindset to be called an investor first off, because if you don't, you're going to miss it on the way. You understand? So it's appalling that we still have so many of us, littered around, that still have the short term, or what we call recency, or the too good to be true mentality as when it comes to investment. We don't care. We all want is that we want our money to double in the next 2 months, and we deploy it back and it doubles in the next 3 months, and at the end of 6 months your money is gone down the drain and you cannot do anything about it. You understand? So the blind spot called recency is very devilish, and that's eating deep into the society, especially into mankind. Mankind doesn't have patience anymore. Mankind don't want to study how things work. They don't want to read. They don't want to learn. They don't want to hear. They don't want to ask questions. Humans are just they're just incredible. They're just gullible. And it's painful, because at the end of the day, these are people who are bringing their hard-earned money to give to some people, or to a system that doesn't have integrity, that doesn't have a track record, and you're losing your hard-earned money. You know, so you have to be very much in the know to notice when something is too recent or too good to be true, so you run away as fast as you can. So recency is a very bad blind spot. It's a very bad blind spot. Most of us know these things, but it is good we resound it often, so that it can stick. So that you walk out every morning remembering, and it will be sounding in your brain, so that when you meet such people, such companies, such products, you will run as fast as you can, as your leg can carry you. You understand? So anything that is too recent to be true is a blind spot. You should look out for it. So before you actually even venture into any investment product, be it real estate, stocks, bonds, forex, cryptocurrency, anything at all, you have to ask yourself the recency question. Is this products embellished with a whole lot of recency, too good to be true factor? Am I going to shoot myself on the foot at the short or long run, if I put my energy, time, and money into this product? So you have to look out for the recency blind spot as well. So far we've been able to tackle 3 blind spots that you have to look out for when you're venturing into any investment at all. 3 blind spots. So I will have to recap them again before we go to the last point for the night. The first one was endowment, where we talked about focusing on the outlook of an investment, that you get so taken, how will I put it again, or you get so distracted and go ahead and make a very bad decision that is going to hurt you at the end of the day. I painted the picture with cars and houses in this real estate business we are in. There are so many of them out there in any investment. Like my mentor always say, that if there is anything that is true or that is real, there are definitely going to be the fake aspect of it. So it's for you to actually be conscious, to ask yourself some question like, how real or how fake is this product? So that is endowment. Then we talked about loss aversion, or loss aversion, or loss evasion. It is focusing on the past loss experience that you are crippled to go on and make informed real estate decisions, or informed investment decisions that's going to help you on the long run. We talked about recency. Recency is where you focus on the short-term goal, that you get so blinded to notice that a package or an investment product is so fake to be real. You understand? So I painted a picture with the Warren Buffett, people who focus on the long term and who want to know how an investment performs before they go ahead to put their money into any investment. And they run away from any too good to be true promissory investment products. What I'm talking about is a product that promises you 100% returns on your money in the next 1 week. Something like that. The investment juggernauts on the investment warlords on the investment the investment pros don't fall for too good to be true scams, because they have understood how this investment thing works, Like we painted a picture that investment is more like you planting a tree in the soil. It doesn't come out the next week and it's already started bearing fruit. It has turned to be a big Iroko. No, it doesn't work that way. So this is one thing you have to have at the back of your mind also. You have to look out for the recency attribute to every investment. Yes, every investment, for it to be an investment, must never have a recency attribute. It must never promise you a whole lot in the short term. It must never promise you, that you're going to make your money in the next 1 week and you agree. It is fake. It is a lie. Be it real estate, stock, bond, anything, shares, anything, crypto, anything. Look at it. Understudy it. Those of them that actually go for the short-term goals, at the end of the day get hurt. They lose their monies and their time and their energy. They cry foul. You understand? So anything that promises you anything too good to be true, and that is looking at the short term other than the long term, run away from it. Also, that should also help you, ask the right question as regards the company and the product. First of all, like, how long have this company been? Are they too recent to be sounding so true? Did they just start last 2 weeks or last 1 month or last 2 years or last 6 months or last 12 years? So you have to ask those questions to understand that this company is not too recent to be true, and their product is not promising you something that is too good to be true. So every investment has nothing to do with recency. No viable investment has nothing to do with the next 2 months or the next 1 month. Run away from such promises. They are false. They are going to kill you at the end of the day. You're going to lose your money and lose your energy and lose your time, and you're going to cry and nobody will help you. So you have to look out for these 3 blind spots. So the next blind spot, which is the last for this evening, we have so many blind spots. I choose to talk about these 4 because for me they're the basics and they are foundation of every other blind spot, that affects investors and people who want to put their money into reasonable investment packages. So you can also go out there and do your research. Mind you, you have to, because it's your money. You're putting your time, it's your energy. It's not mine. So the last blind spot we're going to talk about tonight, before we call it a day or call it a night, is overconfidence. Overconfidence. Yes, overconfidence. Being confident is good, but having over of it, even the Bible condemns excess of everything. So you see, I always tell people that every business tip, every business idea, every business strategy is found in the Bible, but most people don't really agree with me. So now the Bible is telling you that overconfidence in trying to pursue an investment product is even a blind spot. It's evil, it's devil. It's going to make you to lose your money, your time and energy, and you're going to cry. Like I said, being confident is very, very key, but having over of it will close your mind and eyes and physical mind and so on, and the mind eye to so many things, to so many red flags that you wouldn't even notice. You understand? And overconfidence starts from oversabi. You understand? You download across a product online or anywhere, somebody came to talk to you about something, you immediately you get interested, immediately you just do your quick research and you're overconfident that this is something you're going to kill, and you chose to do it and not tell anybody, that people will see that you make it. That is you are going to die. My brother, my sister, don't rush into things because you are overconfident that those things will work. It has never happened that way. It has never happened that way. God didn't rush into God would have commanded everything to come the same day during the creation of the earth. Yes, he could have commanded everything to happen at once. But what would have happened? Chaos. God is, in fact, he's wisdom personified. So I wouldn't say he is too wise. That would be me sinning. So what he was trying to do was to help human beings understand the term called processes and time, seasons. Things don't just happen overnight. Even God understood, despite how supernatural he was, he took 7 days to create where you and me have been living since the time of Adam. It took him 7 years, 7 days. And that is literal. Remember, they say 1,000 years is like a day. It's in the Bible. So it could be 7,000 years. And how dare you question that? Because you were not there. You understand? So God has laid a foundation to, being able to understand that some things take time and also some things need processes. So if you don't understand that, you are going to miss it out and you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to lose. So overconfidence is bad. You begin to ask yourself, how am I going to notice I'm overconfident? It's one, if you're not somebody who asks questions. If you're not somebody who asks questions, you are already exhibiting the character of an overconfident man, and you're going to miss it at the end of the day. If you're somebody who doesn't seek out for help when you need one, you're an overconfident person, and you're going to die. Literally or ironically, you're going to die. If you lose your wealth and lose your time and energy, what are you living for? You understand? If you're not a good person who work with people, if you don't value people, if you don't value relationships, you are an overconfident person. No matter what, some people call themselves, reserved and the rest. No, in this life, in this journey, you can't not do it alone. You have to be somebody who is open-hearted and open-minded. So you are not going to be found being an overconfident person and also becoming successful and in business and invest. You can't. You have to let go of overconfidence. Be confident. But let your confidence allow you to be expressive, be somebody who seeks to gain information, to gain reasonable knowledge about something. If not, you're going to miss it out. So that is it for tonight. I tried as much as possible to be very explicit and be very, very, interactive with our blind spots tonight as when it comes to investment. I try as much as possible to express a whole lot with the points I've taken. I believe that my explanations are not very exhaustive. They are not complete or perfect. There are so many things that due to the time factor I wasn't able to chalk in and put in because it's going to take a whole lot of time. And why we actually do these classes or these kind of live sessions is to get people to become aware so that they can go ahead and make their own research. That's why we do this kind of classes. It's not like we're coming to tell you everything. No, we are coming to raise your mind, to raise your consciousness, to raise your subconscious to the know, so that you can begin to ask questions, so your mind can begin to work. You understand? So most of us have rested a lot, that our brains and our minds have gone to sleep. So why this kind of classes is interesting is so that both for us facilitating, someone like me, and for you listening in, so that everybody's mind can get back to work. And that is the true essence of being a human. You begin to reproduce from your mind. You begin to ask questions, you begin to seek for understanding, you begin to seek for more knowledge. And that way you are becoming a better person, you're becoming a better version of yourself. You understand? So that's why these kind of classes are put in place, these kind of live sessions are put in. And that is why the Defiant Investor Series was set up. Is to get people to begin to think, to begin to take the right decisions as where it comes to investment. So that is that for tonight. Before we call it there, let me recap on the 4 killer blind spots that every investor ought to avoid. Number 1 is endowment. Number 2 is loss aversion. Number 3 is recency. Number 4 is overconfidence. Please go back to the video and watch it so you can understand all this. We don't have much time to begin to explain them again. So go back right into the video, watch it well, take your notes, and go and research. You understand? So any investment platform, any investment that is brought your way, you should begin to ask questions with these 4 things in place. What are the endowment factors embellished on this investment package brought to me? What are the, do I have any past loss experience in investment that's making me to shut out any form of investment coming my way? That's loss aversion. Recency. How good to be true is this particular offer? You understand? How recent is their promise? Is this company too recent to begin to offer me this kind of returns? You understand? Is this product too recent? Is it too new in the market for it to be this too good to be true? That's recency. Then the number 4, which is last but not the least, is overconfidence. Am I overconfident? Am I trying to be over-sabi that I don't even seek for questions and clarifications and answers? Do I just rush and make decisions immediately they come to me? Do I sit down and analyze situations critically before I go ahead and make an informed decision? So these are the 4 killer blind spots that most investors don't even know exist. But at the end of the day, they get walloped, they get destroyed by them. So now you are in the know. Now you understand that these things exist. Now is the right time for you to begin to ask the right questions and begin to take the right decisions. And I believe that at the end of the day, you're going to